Take our Auctioneer Insider, for example. On the Power Strategy call, an auctioneer calls in for Rich's help to plan his qualification quiz for auctioneer school prospects. They want to offer a quiz that helps the prospect understand his exact interest in auctioneering, so they can better sell him what he needs, if he's a good fit at all. Take it away.
Number 6.
Hey, Auctioneer Tim. Hey,
Yes.
I got to talk really fast when I talk to you.
Yes, that's right. I was calling because we are working on a few things, and one thing that we are doing that is a little new, and we're not exactly sure what to call it, but right now we're calling it the Auction Career Evaluation Worksheet.
Yeah?
And it is something, and I just wanted to get your idea on it, if it can be done better or how we should exactly do it. It is pretty much we just came up with a bunch of series of questions that we would ask, or that we want to know about people about, how do they want to start in the business? Do they want to own their own business, work for somebody else? How familiar are they with the auction business? Things like that.
What was it called again, the auction what?
Auction Career Evaluation Worksheet.
Okay.
Which is kind of clunky, I thought, but...
Well, it says...
I mean, that's what it is, so...
Yeah, not everything can sound as smooth off the tongue as Rich Harshaw.
Exactly.
Okay, so the Auction Career Evaluation Worksheet.
What do you think we should put on there that would help us as far as people considering us, a place to be, a fountain from which all knowledge flows type of idea? Certain things we can put on there, or how we can word things that are kind of like, oh, I hadn't thought about that, and I'm glad they asked, and stuff, something like to that effect.
Why don't you give me a little bit more information first? What kinds of things are you already thinking of putting on this career evaluation?
Yeah, I can kind of bring up our current draft. We ask for their information, obviously, but usually we already have that. Somebody will send us an email, and we'll send it back and say, hey, would you be interested in doing this? And then we'll set up a phone call to go over it after you do it, is kind of our idea. So, the first question we ask is, what is your current occupation? And then inside of that, we're thinking, what have you had as past occupation, stuff like that, just to get a background on them. How familiar are they with the auction business? Why do you want to get in the auction business? And we have a bunch of different options for that. What type of auctions do you want to do?
Here's what you're thinking, okay?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Get as much background information as you want to get, but then turn it into sort of a scoring thing.
Okay.
So this is going to take some fine-tuning to make this work right. But so you ask them a question, and depending on what they answer, it assigns 1 point, 2 points, 3 points, 4 points, 5 points, etc., okay?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what those answers would be. Again, this is a very high-level, very general idea for you.
Okay.
So then you ask them, 3, 4, 5, 6 questions, each answer having assigned a point. And essentially, the higher the point value, the more involved they're expressing that they would like to be involved in the auctioneering industry.
Okay.
So the lower types of answers would be, I just want to, I don't even know what it'd be. I'm just interested to learn how to talk fast, or I'm just, basically they're telling you I'm not that interested in being extraordinarily involved in the industry. Okay?
Okay, I see. Yep.
And as they progressively answer these questions, it would be, hey, I want to make a career out of this. I want to make my own business. I want to, make a living, et cetera. Okay? Then what you do is you let them grade it, and they grade it based on how many points. I mean, this is a classic kind of thing. You see this thing all over the place, right? So if you score between 0 and 4, then here's our recommendation. If you score between 5 and 8, here's our recommendation. Between 9 and 12, and between 13 to 15, if you did 16 to 20, and then you have recommendations. 0 to 4. Oh, well, you can probably just pick up a book somewhere and read it. We've got some online resources that might be a good fit, but it doesn't sound like this is something that's really that big of a deal or that important. You can say it in a nice, non-condescending way.
Mm-hmm.
Level 5 to 8. Hey, it sounds like this is something you've got a good, solid interest in. Here's some resources for you. You may want to consider coming to our auctioneering school for a week, but maybe not. 9 to 12, hey, you definitely need to come to auctioneering school. You may want to consider some of these other resources. 13 to 15, and not only do you need to come to our auctioneering school, but you also need to enroll in our academy. It's a 3-year program that blah, 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 blah.
Exactly.
16 to 20, you need basically everything we sell.
Right.
And try to make it so that it's an honest assessment, right? It's not self-serving to you. Oh, well, hey, no matter what, you need everything we sell.
Right.
That's not good. It's not accurate. It's not honest and integral. What is honest and integral and accurate is, okay, here's some resources that we have available on the very low end, clear on up to the very high end, and this is kind of where you need to go.
Excellent. I like it.
Now, the details of that, I have no idea. You'd have to work through.
Exactly. We got to work through that, yeah.
But I think it's pretty interesting because you could make this a two-sided sheet of paper.
Mm-hmm.
On side number one, you could have sort of their contact information and any background information you wanted. Below that, you could probably work it out in anywhere from 4 to 6 questions.
Okay.
I don't think you need a ton of questions. Maybe you do, but I don't think you probably do. And then at the bottom, in a smaller section, it says, okay, here's what those grades mean, like we just talked about.
Mm-hmm.
And it just gives very high-level stuff, and maybe it's color-coded, and it says flip this sheet over for a description of what all these different programs and prices are. So then they flip it over. Here's level yellow. Here's some online resources we have. Some of them are free. Some of them are, nominal cost. And then as the next level is green, and here's what that is. The next level is blue, and that's our auctioneering school. It's 1 week. It costs this much money. For people that scored 9 to 12, here's the next level, which is silver, and then at the very top is gold, and that's for blah, blah, blah. And it kind of gives a more detailed explanation.
Very
How
good.
is that working?
I like that.
The instinct might have been to tell every quiz taker that he would benefit from auctioneering training, to make a buck off him. But Rich stresses the importance of being honest. Sure, honesty helps with credibility and lets you sleep better at night. But there is also an underlying principle here. Rich doesn't expressly express it ever, but in his mind, yeah, I'm a mind reader now, a good business is one that answers the specific need of a specific prospect. A business that thrives has found and caters lovingly to its niche.